Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And we got our special Tokyo 2020 or Tokyo 2021, whichever one you want to do, because the marketing materials say 2020 edition of this. How do you guys like this emblem? But anyway, before we get into today's content, you saw the title. This is a fantasy race off, and I'm going to describe what we're having here. I know some people are going to be like, well, she didn't make the Olympics. And other people are saying, hey, you're giving her too much attention or whatever. Hey, look, it's just a fantasy race off about an athlete that deservedly does not need to be at the Olympics because she broke a rule. And if you don't like that, for the people that are just fangirls or whatever, because that's the type of audience that she attracted, get off the video. Goodbye. But for other people that just want to see a fantasy race off about somebody giving their opinion about what would happen, likely happen at the championships, stay tuned. But definitely like, comment, and subscribe down below. We're looking for 10,000 subscribers by the middle, or I mean the end of October, the middle of November. So with that being said, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the greatest female sprinter over the 100, at least. That shouldn't even be an argument, even though we could say Allison Felix has all of her medals and everything, and that she has more than any other female and male athlete, actually, with that. So we're going to say the greatest female sprinter of all time over the 100-meter dash versus the rookie. We got Pocket Rocket, Mommy Rocket, the Queen, whichever one you want to call Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, that's what she is, versus the newcomer, the rookie, who wins in this fantasy pick for Tokyo 2021. Really, if you really think about it, this would have been where they were anyway. But let's break some things down here. You may be a new Sha'Carri Richardson fan. You may be a normie or something like that that just really doesn't follow track and field. You probably already gave it dislike anyway, just based on that and just making an assumption here. I've made some positive videos about Sha'Carri Richardson before, but we just got to keep it real here. Sha'Carri Richardson, I've seen a lot of you guys' comments on Instagram, Twitter, all over the place. They're crowning her as the fastest woman in the world. What? And of course, the media companies are saying that, but of course they're saying fastest woman in America, fastest woman, or they say fastest woman. They can't say in the world because that would be incorrect. But the news media likes to manipulate people. A lot of people get manipulated by saying, we don't believe the news, and then believe something else by the news. Don't take them seriously at all. But with that being said, Sha'Carri Richardson, not the fastest woman in the world. Look at this, 10:72. She is the third quickest woman in the world. That's no small feat now. But her personal best is still slower than Elaine Thompson's personal best, which is 10:70 flat, which is this. She's almost at a personal best. And even Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's old personal best. She just ran a 10:71 also earlier this year at the Jamaican championships, and she ran that 10:63. She is the fastest woman in the world. Put some respect on the name, and the fastest woman alive. Carmelita Jeter is the second fastest woman alive. But fastest woman in the world this year and fastest woman alive, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the one with the history. Now, let's go over their resume before we go over here. First, we're going to start with the newcomer, okay? We start with the newcomer. It's a shorter resume. We look at her. Let's look at the honors of what she has here, because it's going to show NCAA championships. She is the NCAA 100-meter champion. She has the NCAA record, which is great, 10:75. Now, I know that Sturgis got the fastest race ever over any conditions. It was an illegal win, which was a 10:74. But with a legal win, it's 10:75. That's the collegiate record. Now, she finished also second in the NCAA championships, which they don't have here. I guess they only wanted to put her first. It pumps up her resume on here on worldathletics.org, but she finished second in the 200 at the NCAAs, which is the collegiate race in 2019. Okay. Now, she's the 100-meter champion. She's the national champion at the Olympic trials this year, the year of 2021, depending on if you see this in the future, over the 100-meter dash. She dropped out of the 200 for whatever reason. It could be because her mother died or whatever it is. But whatever the reason is, she dropped out the 200, which is actually her weaker event, but she dropped out. Now, the Pan American Games back in 2017, she was on the winning relay. Nice, nice. Okay, that is her her accolades there. Now, her personal best, 741 in the 60 meters. This one was wind illegal, had too much wind behind it, so that's not counting here. That's why they have the asterisk mark. Even this 1064 with their wind illegal time is slower than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce with a wind legal time. For the normies that are here that don't know the difference between legal and illegal wind times, if you see anything above a 2.0 for a tailwind, that means the plus. That means it is an illegal time. That means it's too fast. It's like, hey, if you're running down the hill and then you try to sprint as fast as possible, you're going to run faster than if you ran in a straight line. For those people that are not familiar with track and field, because I know there's probably a lot of people that are following Sha'Carri Richardson. She's bringing in a lot of people here, which is a good thing if you all follow through with becoming fans of the sport too, not just becoming fans of her personality and saying, hey, and just making up things and pulling it out of your behind and saying, hey, this is what it is. This video is supposed to be an educational one too. So 1072, that is her PR. She's done that this year. That is great, fantastic. That is one of the fastest times in history, actually. So no mean feat, no small feat there. Now, her 200, 22 seconds flat. Okay, nice. That's the only thing that's relevant here. 60 meter times, 741. Her 100 meter time, 1072, and her 200 meter time, which is 22 flat, which was done in 2020. So not even a fresh one this year. Got to keep that in mind. Now, looking at Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, let's go over her accolades, her honors here, which she has a lot. Now, where do we want to go? We can go to Diamond League. Look at all of these first place finishes that she's got in the Diamond League. We can't even fit them in one frame on here. Just endless to count from 2012 all the way up to 2021, where she's won the 100, the 4x1s, 200 meter dash races, and everything. Now, World Athletics Final, which was something that was before the World Championship. They kept changing the name. So think of this as the World Championships. So she got second place in the 100 back in 2009. She won in 2008, which is the same year that she won the Olympics. That was the first year that she appeared at the Olympics in Beijing, and she took it by storm. Now, the national championships in Jamaica, she's gotten first place in the 100s and 200s. You can see all the years, 2009 and things like that. She's also gotten lower places in that as well. So we can look at the Commonwealth Games. You guys don't really know about that. Now, here's the big names for you, for the ones that for the things that care. But just look at all of her resume. You can go here too, worldathletics.org. You type in Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and then you can look at it in honors. Now, look at the Olympic Games, right? Look at the Olympic Games. Beijing, gold in the 100, because this is the race off that we're going here. Not the 200, but the 100. London Olympics. She came back, and she is one of the few female athletes to ever have defended her title. So 1078, when she was just a little young pup. And then she came back and got it at, I believe, was she 21 at the time? So anyway, here she is coming back. Boom, 1075, right back in London. Now, she had a toe injury, which is a serious thing. Think about the runners. For everybody that is not familiar with track and field, think about a runner. I mean, you need your toe. You need your big toe to actually compete. Think about the football players, American football, that get turf toe or something like that. I mean, it's very hard for them to do it. The football or AKA soccer players that get something like that is very hard to still compete with something like that. So with her having that there, she still got a bronze medal in a very quick time of a 1086. Any female athlete running under 11 seconds is quick. Coming under 10.9, getting into the 10.8, you're very quick, blazing fast if you're a 10.7. She still ran very quick for what in 10.7 and below. And you're in the book of legends if you run in a 10.6. Now, here we go. 1086, she was good for a bronze medal. 200, she ran a 22.09. Remember, Sha'Carri Richardson is 22 flat, and she got a silver medal in London with that same injury. And on the relay, 4x100, which many of you have argued that she should be on still, but then the USATF and everything, they issued a statement about how it represents the sport and how they can't have favoritism, which I agree 100%. Now, she got a silver medal on that. That means she's running through the rounds. You got to run 3 races, prelims, semis, and finals. And I think back in Beijing, you had to run an extra set. But anyway, there you go. World Championships, which is done on the off years in between the Olympics, which is every 4 years, the year before and after the Olympics, you have the World Championships. She came and she cooked the field after having a baby, came back, and she got a gold in almost her PR, a 1071 back in 2019. Okay. You go back to 2015, gold in the 100. Go back to 2013, gold in the 100, the 200, the 4x1 relay. She gets these things done. 2015, 2019, here she is. She got a silver in the 4x1 in 2011 and a 4th in 2011 in debut. Now, aside from that, it's hard to say anybody is better. Now we look at her personal best. Her 60 meters, she destroys Sha'Carri Richardson. Remember, she said she had a 741. Look right here, a 711 as her personal best. Now that was done a little while ago, but a 711. You kind of got to imagine that she's got to be somewhere near that shape if she's gotten a brand new PR this year, because a PR used to be, or personal record, personal best, used to be a 10.7. Now she's got a 10.63. She's got a 21.79 done this year as well. So you got to think about it. 22 here. You can see where I'm going with this, but let's just give it a fair assessment, okay? Let's give it a fair assessment. If we're putting up a fair race, a fair assessment about what happens and that she performs. Now, let's not forget that that Sha'Carri Richardson did not qualify in 2019 in the final of the USA Championship. She just couldn't make it. Now, people will argue that, oh, her collegiate season tired her out. There are plenty of collegiate athletes that are coming through. A-Thing Mo, she made it through the collegiate season. Now she's an Olympian, right? Now she's representing the U.S. and she's one of the fastest times in the world this year. If she's not number 1, she's in the top 3 for sure of the fastest times in the world this year in 800. There are other athletes that we can go down the list of, what's her name, in the 400 hurdles from college. She made it. So she went through a collegiate season and she made it. So we can't give any excuses. We can't say, oh, she was young, this or that or whatever. There are athletes, Arian Knighton, 17 years old, a high schooler, is now making the Olympics. Allison Felix, straight out of high school, back when she qualified for the games. She was 18. Now, we can't make excuses. There are so many. So we're going to exit that out. Oh, she's 21 years old, by the way. So Richardson is 21 years old. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce at her first Olympics was 21 years old, if I am not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure they will. 20, 21, was she 22 or something? Whatever it is, right? You can't use age as an excuse, because so many people always say, well, the young athletes in their 20s or something will win. So with that being said, she should be in prime position. Now, when we come down to a race here, let's look at one other thing, which will give Sha'Carri Richardson an advantage here. Now we're going back to the time. We're going to look at the results. Now, she did lose against Sha'Carri Richardson earlier this year in Gateshead. That was her opener race. Now, ignore this time. Look at the wind. The negative means you got a blazing wind against you. She's got a 4.0. Remember, 2.0 in the positive, anything over 2.0 is illegal. She's got a 4.0. That means she's got so much more wind against it, right? And a 3.1. So these times right here, being 11, whatever, that it was raining as well and a huge wind against her. Even Sha'Carri Richardson ran a slow time there. She finished 4th in that final. She won her race at a 10.84 in Doha, right? On that same track that she ran in 2019 at 10.71. Then in her, hold on. Then she ran that 10.63 right here. Here's the prelim semifinal where she finished second. She was just cruising. And then the final, a 1071. Then she finished second just recently, just over a few days ago, right here in 1082 to Elaine Thompson. So the Olympics is in 10 days from the making of this video right now. Now, here we go to Richardson. This is going to give her the advantage in some ways, because we want to be fair here. I'm not trying to just paint it one direction. Now, with this, she ran a 1072. This is her personal best right here, back in April. Now, she also ran a 1074, 1077, a 1084. This 1064 is not a legal time, so that doesn't count, in a 1086. Now, she's ran under 10.8 1, 2, 3 times. Then she's run under 11 seconds 1, 2, 5 times altogether. The amount of times that she ran under 10.8 so early in the season between April and May gives her a huge credibility, because she could run early this early, train off, and if she had come to the Olympics, I'm pretty confident that she might have been able to run a 10.7 low, maybe even a 10.6 somewhere. So now we got to come back and bring it back together, right? Who would win in this face-off? Before I give you the answer, pause the video right here. Tell me who you thought I would say. Nah, I'm just kidding. Don't even do that. Let me know who you think would win and give the reasons why in actual racing terms. If you're somebody that doesn't really follow track and field, I know you might be a fan of the person, but we got to be honest here about who we think would win here. If you're not a fan of track and field, just be honest. Hey, I'm not a fan of track and field. I'm a fan of either Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce exclusively and a couple other people, or I'm a fan of Sha'Carri Richardson, and this is the reason why I think they will win. I would be okay with you putting that comment in the comment section below, instead of just randomly saying, oh, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce wins, and then you're an idiot because you said Richardson would win, or Richardson would win, and you're an idiot for saying Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce will win, because we get a lot of those things there. If you do that, I'm not going to be nice in the comment section below. Just know that I'm not one of those people that just allows people to just randomly say somebody's an idiot for giving a breakdown or anything like that. Like, you didn't contribute anything to the conversation, so you can get yourself out of here. But with that being said, who do I think would win? Now, remember how I said how many times she ran the 10.7. Now we got Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce 1 and 2. Remember, 1 and 2. So she ran under 10.7 or in the 10.7s or below twice. She ran under 10.9 or 11 seconds about an equal amount of times, actually 6. Now she ran into the 10.8s with the equal amount of times, 10.8 or below, with the 5 times. Now she's had an extra race just because she's not banned. So just to be fair there. Now, who do I think would win? Now, knowing the history of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, which many of you may not know this, but I'm going to give you this. She might not even run any of these times, and she might play possum, is what people would say. Earlier in 2019, she didn't look like, oh, she's going to run that 10.7, 10.7-1. She did that at the final. She knows how to get ready for these Olympics and World Championships. Even when she was injured with that serious toe injury, she still finished bronze. Now, she knows, and her weaker event is actually the 200-meter dash, and she got a PR after she did some more strength training. She did more strength training. She got faster. With that being said, from my analysis of who would win between both of them if they met at the games. Now, they might actually race after the Olympics this year, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce might actually lose. Why? She gets ready for the championships. She lost right here against Elaine Thompson. But guess what? She didn't lose against anybody in the 100 or the 200 at the Jamaican Championships, which was 2 weeks before that. So with that being said, she knows how to get herself ready. She would win handedly against a fantasy pick of having Sha'Carri Richardson still in the race. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? What are your reasons below about what you think would happen between both of the athletes? And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe We're looking for 10,000 subscribers. Look, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is pointing up there. I don't know if that's a subscribe button, but she's pointing somewhere and she's telling you that you need to subscribe to this channel because we're going to be coming out with other content. And the next video actually is going to be after Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, who's next? Because we don't want this to look like, at least I don't want to. I don't want to see Jamaica just fall off the map like the Jamaican men have in the 100 and 200 after Usain Bolt was gone. Then like kind of what the heck happened? Who's replacing Usain Bolt? Like when you think about it, there's like an elephant in the room that nobody wants to really point out to. Like, do we want to address that? Like, yeah. See, Elaine Thompson-Herah has the perfect face. This is how I'm kind of looking at the men in the Jamaican men right now after Usain Bolt. Like that really is the thing. I mean, even Shericka Jackson got the perfect face. Just that's how I'm looking at them. So I'm going to discuss what happens after Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, how they can keep themselves competitive. Because even if Sha'Carri Richardson loses against Fraser-Pryce now, do you think that the other athletes can beat Richardson if she stays healthy? I mean, that's a real conversation right there. I think Elaine Thompson still got some more time ahead of her too. She's a little bit younger than Fraser-Pryce, so she's got some time there. But really, is it inevitable that Sha'Carri Richardson gets a record? Is it inevitable that she's going to be trouncing among other athletes over multiple years, not just one, but multiple years? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm going to cover that in the next video. Peace and have a good one.